Welcome back to the Cosy Rosie Crochet channel. It has been a little while since I've appeared and you might have been wondering why. I've disappeared and had a little bit of a break. So after what has been a very busy start to the year, thanks to you, I decided that I needed a little break away from both social media and YouTube. So apologies if you're waiting on a reply to a comment or an email or anything like that. I am back, that's the first thing. But I thought it would be good for us to sit down, have a cuppa together, in my case, an iced latte, because it's very warm here, and go through the reasons behind me needing a little bit of a break, what I've been doing while I've been away, and highlight some of the fabulous things that are coming up, some new patterns, some new products. I just want to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what's to come up in the next few months. For me, one of the hardest things to recognise when I look at other businesses and other online businesses is the fact that it takes so much to run one. So much seems to happen behind the scenes, and here in Cozy Town, as me and my husband named it, it is pretty much just me doing pretty much everything. I'm the designer, the pattern writer, the website manager, the social media manager, which always falls to the wayside, the customer service department, the stock controller, even the packer of orders. And of course, the cleaner, which is why it's not always very clean. Now, I am eternally grateful and absolutely love what I do. And I am so lucky to be able to call crochet my income, my lifestyle, my joy, my passion. But there are times when it does become a little bit overwhelming, and I am one of those people that does tend to work until they drop. This year has been a particularly busy start. Already so far, I've done 4 or 5, maybe even 6 different yarn shows. I can't think off the top of my head. There's been so many projects on my hook and a few revisions of some older ones too. Alongside that, there's been the new pattern development, the workshops that I'm now offering in my local yarn shop, along with all the normal day-to-day tasks of running a business as well. I am very fortunate. I have a wonderful support network around me, very locally and far and wide too. I'm very fortunate that my husband is incredibly supportive of me going into this venture and continuing to support me through all my crazy ideas as well. He is away an awful lot this year, which is hitting me harder than I thought it would be, because I don't have his, he's not there for immediate contact. He's not there for his amazing support that he offers me. A calming ear to listen to my ramblings. I just feel like I've been juggling a little bit more on my own. I also have the most amazing friends and family alongside my wonderful husband who are always there whenever I need them. My other huge supporters have to get a special mention on their own, which is my pattern testers and my tech editor, who I am constantly asking things of, and they're always available to answer those questions in the case of my editor and offer their support when it comes to pattern testing and suggesting for corrections, shall we say, during that testing process. I really don't know what I would do without them. Alongside myself, they are working so hard behind the scenes to make sure that everything is right for people to follow along with my crochet patterns, to make sure that they make sense and that they can be easily followed as well. Realistically, despite all that extra support that I have around me, I was kind of getting to the point where I was becoming a little bit overwhelmed. I needed to pause for a moment, and most definitely I needed to recharge my batteries. And it's not because anything was particularly wrong. It's not because I don't love my job. It's because I need to remember that rest is productive as well. One of the things that I have spent a lot of time reflecting on all the way back since January, when I was trying to refocus what was going to be my main focus for the year even, I'm still working on revising how I work going forward. And this is going to be a bit of a process. I think I have one of those brains that I always see what's left to do, and I feel like I'm focusing a little bit too much on the next. And I think as creative people, we do find that we are often convincing ourselves that there is always more to do. So in my instance, more patterns, more products, more posts, more content, more emails to send. I think it's important to remember that actually, what I need isn't necessarily more, I need better. One of the things I set in progress earlier on the year was more time between each pattern release. Obviously, I want to always make sure that they are as accurate as possible when they are released. As exciting as it is to see something new coming all the time, there's not always the time to apply every step, and I never want to rush the process and release something that isn't perfect for every size that we offer when it comes to garments. And actually rushing from one release into the next just isn't sustainable. It's quite exhausting in my case. So you may notice that there is a bit of a slowdown on releases, maybe not next month, but that's because we've been working so hard together with my pattern testers and editor to get those ready for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that there are going to be fewer designs even, it's just that I get to give more attention to the designs before they're released so that they are even more accurate than they could have possibly been. So one of the things that I've also been doing is reviewing, my closest friend Julie is going to laugh at this, but I've actually been looking and reviewing my project list and what's coming up and what's next, and reviewing everything that is on there. If you are anything like me, you know yourself, the ideas and the creative ideas come much quicker than we could ever produce them. And I've been trying to look at my list and my ideas with a more realistic eye and picking those projects that really excite me and that are realistic to get done in the time scale that I have. And then I just need to quietly get on with it, just get stuff done. I think for me, I need to focus on less overthinking and sometimes just more doing, less planning, more doing. So I have decided to start looking for some administrative help. There are certain elements of my business that are not my favourite when it comes to getting them done, so I do tend to avoid doing them. They stay on the list and I can see them, but I just keep avoiding them and end up never doing them. So even if it's just someone for a couple of hours each month that can tick off some of the things on my list that I don't want to do, it's going to free up more of my brain because I won't be stressing about them, and it means that I can spend a little bit more time on the creative elements that I do enjoy so much. I do want to share one of my highlights of my little break away. So we're just heading out of May into June, and I was very lucky to spend 7 days of May in Marrakech with one of my besties, Barb's. It really was quite an amazing trip, and we got to experience all that Marrakech has to offer. If you have already seen some of the videos and photos that I've taken while I was away, you might be, I'm going to reshare them now because they were such special moments. There was one that completely overrode everything else that we did, and we nearly didn't do it. We actually postponed it for a day because it was quite expensive, and we'd already spent so much money on lots of things. I'm going to show you what I bought shortly. We decided before we went away something we wanted to do that is available to do in Marrakech, which is a hot air balloon ride. If you know where I'm from, I live in Northampton. We have an air balloon show every year, and I've always watched them fly over the house and watched them fly about, and I never imagined I'd get the opportunity to go in one. But I genuinely think it may have been the most beautiful sunrise I have ever seen. Watching the sun come up over the landscape while floating quietly through the skies was absolutely magical. It was one of those moments where everything slows down. No emails, no deadlines, no to-do lists, just being present. And honestly, I think that was exactly what I needed. It took me a good 2 to 3 days to completely switch off and stop constantly checking my notifications and my emails, and to really enjoy my time with my friend, eating lovely food, making sure that I would come home refreshed and relaxed. I'm really surprised at how long it took me to get into the holiday mode, because normally it's like instant switch off. So I think that goes to prove that I really needed that break. And I do feel like I am ready to tackle the rest of the year. And before you ask, yes, I do have another holiday booked. It's not until September, after the summer season of yarn shows, but it's going to be a nice one as well. I think it is really nice to always have something to look forward to when you come back from holiday. I wanted to share with you what I purchased while I was on holiday. So I just nipped off to grab that. The first item is very, very well wrapped up. You're probably not that interested in it, to be honest. Oh, no, actually, you will be interested in this. This is a little tiny little bottle of perfume that was made at the cooperative that we visited. Oh God, it's so beautiful. Where the ladies were grinding the, what are they called? Olives, that's the word. No, argan oils. They made argan oil, which is this little tiny bottle here. Obviously, I have really fine hair, so I don't need a lot of hair oil, but they were grinding them, the argan seeds. It looks like a coffee bean, but it's longer, more like an almond. And they were grinding the almonds to make argan oil and mixing it with honey and other things to make cosmetics and food. But it was a cooperative made up of single women that live in the Atlas Mountains. It was really nice to actually have the opportunity to go and meet them, chat to them, and find out more about that cooperative, and of course purchase some lovely things from them. The other thing I bought, which may have been a rip-off, is a old plate. I'm just going to put a photo in because I'm not going to try and unwrap this now. I think it's not as old as they told me it was. They said it was 50 years old, and it's a Berber design. One of the things that really fascinated me was the dyeing process and the things they used for dyes. They used saffron for the orange colours, coal, like eyeliner coal with a K, for the black colours, indigo for the blue, and the green colours, which is missing on this plate, it's been chipped off, was made from mint. All the products that they used are usually found from the Atlas Mountains, which is a beautiful range. We did get to go up and we visited Siti Fatima, where there's a beautiful waterfall that we got to hike up in 30+ degree heat. It was incredibly warm when we were out there, but so glorious. Of course, I couldn't walk past the wool. So I did buy some wool, possibly not what you're expecting. I didn't buy any dyed wool, and actually this is hand spun. So the gentleman whose souk we went to, or shop, bazaar, Casper, I don't know, I can't remember what word he was using it for. His mum spins the yarn, she crochets. I was wearing a crochet top that day, and he was so excited to see me wearing, I had a crochet bag on and I had my crochet top on. He's like, oh, my mum crochets. And when I asked about this yarn, I was like, is it undyed? He's like, yeah, this has not been dyed. It is the colour of the animal. Now, there are some animals that obviously traditionally were used for working. They're not walked down from the Atlas Mountains into the centre of Marrakech anymore. They're more used for tourism. So I got some of their wool. So we have 2 lots. These are both about 300 grams each. Obviously no idea of meterage, but this is camel, 100% camel wool. It smells of animal. And I've got 2 colours. This is the bigger skein. Oh my God. I'm hoping it won't have felted too much. It was tied, and I can't find the entry point. But it's not felted very much, but it's very much looks like it's been hand twisted and hand spun, because it is still quite what I call kinky. But there is quite a lot of it. So I have no idea what I'm going to make with this, but it's quite a lot. And I thought the 2 colours go well together. Probably enough to make, like I was thinking like a little floor rug for my kitchen. Just 2 little circles or something, just using this. Of course, I need time to do these things. So once again, I've purchased something that I can have some fun with. But I think for the price that I paid for hand spun, undyed camel wool, I am a little bit excited about these purchases. Now, I did buy something else as well. God, this has not been packed well at all. And it was, they said they had some silk. Now, I know what silk feels like, and to me it did not feel like silk. It felt more like rayon, and if you know me, I can't touch the alternative, the vegan alternative to silk. It does not agree with me. And they said that this was 100% cotton. I don't believe this is 100% cotton. I think it is blended, and it's an absolute mess now. I don't know how I'm going to wind this. I'm going to take some sorting out, as I can't find a thread anywhere. Don't know how they packed this. Oh, here we are. God, there's all bits falling out of it. Oh my God. This is going to be fun to sort out, I don't think. But this was really expensive and I think I overpaid. If it is 100% cotton, I will be incredibly happy. I don't know, it smells like the markets. But I need to sort it out and untangle it because that is going to be an absolute nightmare to spin. It is all wrapped up in itself. I should have packed it into the bag. But anywho, it's lovely. It might well be 100, actually no, it could well be 100% cotton. You know, and it feels like it's been blended with something. Anywho, that's what I bought from Marrakech. 3 skeins of yarn, which is a given, a beautiful antique plate, some perfume and some argan oil. Before I disappeared for my little break, April was pretty much packed with yarn shows and I can't even remember if I uploaded a video about them because I certainly filmed one and it may well be that I just never edited it. The first show that I had in April was Spring into Wool where I was in the foyer. I think I have shared that information with you. It's an amazing event. I love Spring into Wool. I love the organisers. I love the location. It's always a glorious show and it was a great success for me as well because there were so many people there. I got to chat to so many people. It's really nice, of course, to meet up with people that have made my patterns, and someone brought me along their iris beach tunic that they'd made and they just wanted some help with a couple of the bits of the pattern. Absolutely loved it. She stitched it up so beautifully. It really never gets old. Seeing your projects in real life, hearing about them, seeing the colours you've chosen, it really lifts my spirits. While I was away, I did receive a couple of emails of people that had taken the plunge and made themselves making themselves a couple of the projects, including the cable and cross cardigan. I'm not going to share it here because she wasn't pleased with her photography. I thought she looked great. And she'd chosen a really nice pink colour. And I've had a lovely couple of emails of people making their granny squares from following the tutorial here, which always makes me proud as well. Then later just before I went away, or the couple of weekends before I went away, I had Wonderwool in Wales. This was a bit of a squeeze-in job for me. They had a cancellation and I managed to secure a space in the show. And what a space it was. It was a lovely deep stand with quite wide, I think it was 3x3 or maybe even a 4x3. It's a big show. I was really shocked at how large the show was. Again, I'm sure I've released, maybe I haven't shared it with you. I'm sorry if I haven't. There were so many highlights from that show as well. It was a little bit tiring because it was a long drive. It was in Wales, central Wales in my opinion, up some hills, down some hills, quite a journey back. I did it. I drove back after the show and I was home by just after 9, which is really quite lucky. If I'd been in the right queue when I was coming out of the car park, I would have been home probably by 8, to be honest, but that was my own fault. It was really nice. I got to meet someone who's offered me an amazing opportunity. I can't say any more about that right now, but I'm very excited to share that with you possibly next year, actually. So it was a great show to go to because I got to make that lovely contact. I had some amazing stall mates, stand mates, which I will share our selfie in. I look awful, but it was really nice to capture that exhausted moment at the end of the show as well. A huge thank you to anyone who has come along to either of those shows, said hi, purchased something, not purchased something, and just said hello. Always a pleasure to see people in the real world outside of social media and YouTube, of course. Events like that really feel like they take a lot of preparation and quite a lot of energy when it comes to loading and unloading the car, but they are so rewarding, getting the opportunity to meet people, for those connections and those conversations. They mean the world to me. So shall we talk about, let me have a coffee. All this chatting, my ice is going to melt. So let's talk about the exciting bit. What's coming up? What's next? I'm getting closer and closer to you, sorry. There is a lot coming up over the next few months. So we are heading into June 2026. I only have one yarn show this month, which is probably a good thing because I'm already tired. Oh, I just live my life permanently exhausted. So there are lots more yarn shows in the calendar already. So let me give you a highlight of each of those for the next few months. So in June, we have the Wool Monty in Sheffield. In July, we have a brand new show that I'm attending, which I'm really excited for. That is going to be at the Wolverhampton Racecourse. Midlands Wool Show, I think that one's called. It's a new, so it isn't committed to my memory yet. Then we have my second favourite show of the whole year, which is my local yarn show. That's going to be the Summer Wool Festival held at Redbourne Upper School in Ampthill. I even know exactly where that is. It is a favourite of mine because obviously I get to see all my locals from my previous life and my current existence as well. I've got a couple of workshops for Learn to Crochet available at that yarn show as well. The only yarn show I get to do workshops at this year. There are 2 more in August, which is the Northeast Wool Show. Again, a lovely big journey away, a good 3.5 hours for me all the way up in Newcastle. And then I've forgotten, where else do I go? Oh, the Southern Wool Show. So it's only my second year at the Southern Wool Show, so it's still quite new to me. I'm in the same place if you knew where I was, so come and see me at the Southern Wool Show. And then in September, we have another new wool show, which I am very, very excited about. I'm going to flash all the information here for you. And that's going to bring us all the way up to the big one. I've got more workshops booked. The next one is this weekend, the weekend coming at Miller's Yarns and Crafts. If you haven't been to Hyam Ferrers in Northamptonshire, I would highly recommend it. She has some bargain yarns in there. It's Sunday. So I'll be back because the church is going to ring. I don't know if it will pick it up. We're going to keep going. That note scared me. So Miller's Yarns and Crafts in... Oh my God, it's so loud. Miller's Yarns and Crafts. If you haven't been to Miller's Yarns and Crafts in Hyam Ferrers, it is a wonderful yarn shop. She is a glorious, wonderful human. She knits, she crochets, she sews, multi-talented woman, and she's hosting lots of different craft workshops now in her little space. This weekend just gone, I got to do a Learn to Crochet workshop and a Granny Square workshop, and I have the same again this weekend. They are pretty much fully booked for the Granny workshop, and we've just set dates all the way up until October. So my job this afternoon is to get all of those workshops listed as well. Oh gosh. They only ring for a few minutes, so if you can hear them, I'm just going to keep talking over them. It is beautiful. Okay, I know all my hymns. So there, alongside all the wonderful yarn shows that are coming up, I also have a number of patterns that are almost ready for release. I'm aiming to have something new at every single yarn show this year. In April, I did fit in an extra yarn show. They didn't get anything new, but I was new to them, so that was fine. We have, God, it's so loud. On the pattern side of things, I have been trying to do a new pattern or a re-release every single month ready for the yarn shows, and I didn't actually release anything in May. I was planning to, I'll show you it. We have the Fuji curved bag. Okay, they've stopped. I hope you got to hear them. If you didn't, I'm sorry. So yes, whatever I said, let's go back. This is the Fuji bag, which my gorgeous friend Julie has stitched up for me. And it uses macrame rings, and she used this beautiful little toggle to create a closure for the flap. So it's a very secure bag. This one is not lined because it's a little bit more of a challenge to line a curve. It can be done, I just don't have the patience. And actually there is no major holes because there's quite solid stitching around the side, but you can see how deep the width of the bag is, and that was something that was really important. I did get to use my other version of this on my holiday in Marrakech, just to make sure that everything was secured away in my handbag. I don't have a release date yet, but I am planning on filming that. Now you might be wondering, Fiona, what is that gorgeous yarn that she's used to make this? Well, there is a new product going into the shop very shortly. Yes, this is the shade Indigo, and it is absolutely stunning. There I have 7 different shades of this 3mm macrame cord being available in the shop very, very soon, and it's coming with me to the Wool Monty as well. I'm going to highlight another shade for you. This is the light beige, and then I have the cream as well, and they look beautiful together, don't they? Really, really like these colours. There's a black, there's a dark brown, which is particularly nice. Julie has fallen in love with that shade. She's just stitching up another sample for me in that colour as well. So there are lots of new things happening in the background. So it might be why I've been a little bit overwhelmed, but it's so worth it. There are more designs coming as well, probably a little bit later in the year now. I think we're going to stick with the Fuji bag for June, and then in July there is another new pattern on its way as well. Something I want to talk about, which is a little bit ahead of itself. I've already mentioned the next few yarn shows. It is most definitely the biggest event on my calendar this year and every year, because this, believe it or not, will be my 3rd year at the Knit and Stitch Show in London. I am incredibly excited about it. The tickets go on sale on Thursday, and I have a unique code that could save both you and me some money. Not only does it discount the price of the ticket by £2 for you, I'm going to be emailing out my discount code as soon as the tickets go live on Thursday. It's your first chance to buy them. You can get the early bird price, and I think you may even get to apply the discount as well. So if you are planning on coming along to the Knit and Stitch Show in London, not only am I going to be able to offer you an exclusive discount, but you're also going to potentially help me save money on the cost of my stand next year. What I'm really excited about is I have made the very brave decision to go bigger. I have increased the size of my stand because we have so many new patterns and new products to show at the stand, and I know that my wonderful friend Julie is going to be able to come with me every day again this year. That means between the two of us we can confidently cover the stand for the whole 4 days of the show. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday show, and we're going to be absolutely exhausted but so excited to see everyone. So if you are planning on attending, keep an eye out on your inbox and on my socials on Thursday for that exclusive discount code that can save you and me some money. So before I finish, as always, I want to say a huge thank you to you. Thank you for your patience while I was having my little break. As always, thank you for continuing to support my small business. Thank you for your messages, your comments and your emails. I love to see them. Running a small business can at times feel a little bit chaotic, but knowing that you're the reason that I'm doing it for makes it all worthwhile. I'm definitely feeling refreshed and re-energized. The caffeine is helping. With everything coming up over the next few months, I hope that I will get a chance to see you in real life. But if I don't, we've always got a little cozy corner here of the crochet world right here on YouTube. What I would love to see below is a little balloon if you thought I was brave enough for going on that balloon ride while I was in Marrakech. I will see you again very, very soon. Thank you as always for watching.